Good evening. How you doing out there? Welcome to Mike's Variety Hour. Some of you know me out there from Comcast. My name is Mike, and I'm a volunteer at Comcast Public Access Station, helping you to present your views, your agendas, whatever story you got to the Richmond metro area. And tonight is, for the next 6 weeks, actually 7 weeks, I'm going to have a block of shows where we're going to have, as it says, my variety hour, which I do every year. We're going to have some entertainment. We're going to have some serious talk about topics that are near and dear to your heart. You know, what's going on with the average person in the area? You know, what do they think? You know, the news is dominated by what politicians want to do and their views. But what do you think? Hey, you know, we'll have some fun in this show like we always do. So this evening, just kicking off the show, basically to introduce to others, tonight we'll be talking about some current events or any kind of topics that you'd like to talk about. So again, Mike's Variety Hour here for the next 6 weeks, Wednesday, 7:30, except Thanksgiving week, we're going to be on vacation. So that week will be out. But I promise you some good shows, and as always, would appreciate your participation. Call in anytime, 915-5202. We'll be talking about current events. And one thing we'll talk about, I guess, on the health front, everybody's been hearing about Ebola. And want to get your input on what you think is going on there. Has the country had on a national front, have we had a good response? What do you think would happen in Richmond if there was an incident of a person being infected? How do you think the local authorities, local medical institutions would be able to handle that problem? You think is that something you should be scared about, given everything else that's going on? You know, you have drugs coming across the border, all kind of crime, stuff going on right here. Is that something that we should be, of course we should have a concern, and then there's also priorities in those things. So that's something we could talk about. Hey, a week from today, we're going to have, just less than a week, we're going to have midterm elections. What do you think is going on there? What would you like to see happen? Or are you going to participate? Do you think it's going to make a difference? You know, we have midterm elections halfway into President Obama's administration's reign. 2 more years. I guess the outcome of these elections could make, his efforts, that Obama's administration make their efforts, somewhat null and void, or to promote them more. We also have, of course, local elections. So I appreciate you calling in, 915-5202. You're watching Mike's Variety Hour and want to get your input. So we have also talked to, some other friends, but, open to, discuss any topics, that you'd like to talk about. Also, other concerns, talking to some concerned citizens in the area about personal liberties, concerns about the government hacking into your computer, being able to steal your information. People are concerned. There's been a rash over the last couple of months, a rash of incidents with civilians and the police. A friend of mine was commenting, saying, why is it okay? Why is it a crime if you discipline your child, and you could go to jail, but it's okay for law enforcement to abuse them, and they get a ticker tape parade. So that's what a friend of mine told me, to ask the audience. So a lot of things we could talk about. So you could call up, if you just want to give your opinion, something like that you have a rant over, we're open to that. It's like I said, a variety hour, and what I like to do is to, suggest some topics to talk about. But I want to get your input. I want to hear what Metro Richmond has to say about things. So, hey, give me a call, 915-5202. Don't leave me hanging there. So let's talk about, I don't want to talk about Ebola first. Let's talk about midterm elections. What do you think is going on there? I guess on the local front, a friend was telling me about the Virginia House of Delegates, 7th District. You have Preston Brown, an independent Democrat, versus Rosalind Dance. And the district that they're serving. What do you think about that? And I guess those are the only two people in that contest. Hey, we got a call. Hey, welcome to Mike's Variety Hour. How's it going?
It's going pretty well. You brought up the idea about the votes coming up, I guess, in the next few days, 6 days, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of voter suppression out there, and it appears that if people don't come out to vote, whoever they're for is probably going to lose. I mean, no matter which side you're on. Do you think there's much voter suppression?
Well, caller. Yeah, you raised a good point that's in the news. How do you think people's votes are being suppressed, and why?
The IDs. I mean, that costs money. It's just a new system of trying to limit how people vote, in my opinion.
Okay.
I don't think for so many years you just go, you show your voter card, or you already on the list to vote, and you vote.
Okay.
I think it just seems like there's not a lot of incidents of fraudulent voting.
Okay.
So it seems to be a suppression effort, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, let me ask this. It's trying to be objective thinking, different ways. I know it's important to have, I hear on both sides, I hear, that IDs are important for people just in a regular day, business. If you go to the doctor for insurance, they ask for your ID. You go to the bank, some transactions, you need an ID for all these other things. So why don't all these groups that are hollering about people not needing an ID, and why don't they get money to just go and get these people IDs, which would help them in their overall day-to-day activities?
I'm just saying, I'm not
I'm just
a proponent of that necessarily. I'm just saying we already have a problem with people that don't turn out to vote.
True.
So basically, that just made it harder.
Okay.
It's a very low population of people who vote today, and they just made it harder. I mean, people you said get some money. I mean, maybe there should be some donations, but a lot of people out there just trying to live from day to day. They having a hard time coming up with money to catch the bus to work.
Okay.
So now you got to spend money for another ID. I just heard on the news today where people were going into facilities to get IDs, and the people producing the IDs saying we don't have the materials to do that. In Georgia, they just lost 40,000 votes. I mean, voter application. It's just a massive movement, in my opinion, to suppress votes. Not just the ID issue, but there's others as well.
Yeah, I'm sure there's all, type of, I guess that's all a political process, and depending upon who's running it and what type of procedures and stuff they got in place, anything can happen. Yeah. So, but you make some good points. Let me ask you this, Cole. You sound like you're very, you informed. With this being a midterm election, and I read some predictions as saying that the national wise that the House is going to remain in the GOP Republican camp, and that there's like an 80% chance that the Senate's going to go also. How do you think that, if that happens, how do you think that would affect the operations of the current President Obama's administration?
Productivity is already low. I mean, really, everything. It appears that whatever the current president tries to do, the Congress tries to do something else. Mm-hmm. So I don't think they're going to make much additional progress if that actually happens.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's polls, so we really don't know what the polls say. I remember when Governor Wilder won here in Virginia, all the polls, even the exit polls, had his opponent winning.
Yeah.
So you really don't know what's going to happen with the polls.
Oh yeah, true. Just going by what they predict, and you got numerous surveys out there, and
right, and some surveys are taken by people who only talk to themselves. Just like the presidential election last time, they said Mitt Romney was going to win, but they only talked to the people who would normally vote for Mitt Romney.
Yeah.
I mean, they went ballistic when he didn't win because they only talked to themselves. So, I mean, I can give polls some credibility, but we just have to see what happens. That's the reality of it. But if that does happen, you're going back to your question.
Yeah.
It's just going to be more gridlock, more 2 years of more gridlock.
Yeah. Yeah, the average person out there can't afford that sort of bunch of BS.
None of us can afford it. I mean, we need to make progress. We need to make progress. There's a lot of things that have to take place and need to take place in this country.
Yeah, I agree. I'm thinking in terms like the politicians themselves, the ones that are in, that are in the Congress, they can vote themselves a raise. They got the best, health care packages. They get pensions, over $100,000 pensions for life. So, they could do stuff at a whim, and it's not going to make them any difference.
It needs to be term limits. They need to have term limits because if you come in there for a period of time, you come in to get something accomplished. You don't come in to stay.
Yeah.
So a lot of those people are making so much money, but they're just sticking around and not doing anything.
Yeah.
Mitch McConnell just put in $2 million of his own money to win. I don't know how long he's been there, but he may have been there long enough.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's some others, Democrat and Republican, that need to go. Mm-hmm. I think, certain period of time, just term limits, I would agree with that.
Yeah. Hey, one more question. I think with this midterm election also maybe something of, I guess for some people of historical significance, where for probably the first time in I don't know how many years it's a good possibility that you'd have two African-American senators, one from the state of New Jersey, Cory Booker, who's, from what I've read, predictions are pretty much, predicted to win, and Tim Scott in the state of South Carolina. Of course, Booker's a Democrat and Tim Scott's a Republican. So I guess that would be the first time in I don't know how many years you'd have two African-American senators on there. Just saying, I don't know what difference it makes, just to say, I'm sure, there'll be some comments about that for some people saying, it's, we haven't had that in a while. So
I think it makes a difference. I mean, why not have the people who represent us look like us? And if you don't have a seat at the table, who's going to speak for you? They have a point of view with their background that others might not have. Female, I mean, I just think they should be a reflection of what's in the United States in general. It's a large population of a certain race that's in the Congress, and they don't know what I've been through. They don't know how you live. They don't understand how you came up.
Okay.
Because they never lived through it.
Okay. Well, we're given that the senators are supposed to represent the state that they come from, and the representatives represent the districts that they come from. So I guess it's sort of why they have the two houses, sort of a balance. You have one Senate representing the state's district, the state's interests, with everybody that's in there, regardless of their background, and then you have the representatives, which are more local, neighborhoods or regions, where people live. But anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. That's given everything that's going on there, of some significance to people.
No, I think there should be a better balance. If you're going to represent the United States, Congress should look like the United States. That's all.
Well, let me ask you, they should look, well, how about how they think? I mean, because people look the same, does that mean that they're going to think the same?
No, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to think the same, but I'm saying they may have some common background, obviously.
Sure. Uh-huh.
I mean, if you're in a room full of people, you congregate eventually to people like you. You become friends with people something like you that have similar backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I play basketball and he played golf, he may not talk to me because I play golf and he doesn't play golf. He's going to talk to the guys that play golf. If you're a member of a country club, he's another member of a country club, they're going to talk to each other. If I'm a member of let's say fraternity or something, then maybe that's who you're going to talk to.
Yeah.
So I think different backgrounds will congregate to each other because they have a common background with common views. And those common views will try to shape everything if you don't put in a sprinkling of something else that might enlighten them to a point where they can make a different decision.
Okay, very good points. Okay, caller, feel free to call back. Appreciate you calling in and your point of view.
Thank you.
Enjoy that. Okay, we had a very sharp, informed caller there. Appreciate you calling in, talking about his input on the upcoming midterm elections, and I guess highlighting and talking about thoughts about voter suppression. So, again, you have locally in Virginia, there was something local. You have the 7th District, you have Preston Brown, Democrat, Independent, and Rosalind Dance, Democrat, for the Virginia 7th House seat, and the contested also for national representatives, 7th District for House of Representatives, Bratt versus Trammell. Hey, welcome to Mike's Variety Hour. How's it going?
Yes, thank you for taking my call.
Yeah.
I agree with the previous caller. Majority of things he said, are correct. And you're speaking on police brutality. It's strange that we pay the salaries of the people that are abusing us. And I think when you kill a cop, it's considered a capital crime.
Yeah.
And since they want to hold cops to a higher level of authority, I think cops should be charged with capital murder when they kill an innocent person. And the thing about the voters, Republicans and Democrats aren't too much. They're not too different.
Yeah.
And it seems like they select the people for us to elect. I think every last one of the congressmen and senators should be wiped out of Congress. Also, we're not represented in the Senate. There's 2 black senators in the Senate, and they were both took the place of other people. They wasn't elected.
How do you mean?
So,
what are you saying? Maybe I'm not clear what you're saying.
Well, one of the senators died. Another person took his place.
That's right, in New Jersey. Yeah.
Right. They wasn't elected. Right. And the thing about Ebola.
Well, they're not. Well, I guess go ahead, but I guess they're having an election, and they got
the public election. Yes.
Huh?
They didn't have a public election. They were selected by senators to take somebody else's place.
Oh, they're not. No, I think in South Carolina they actually have an election. I'm not sure about New Jersey. I know in South Carolina there's actual, Democrats and Republicans, running for senators of that state. I'm not sure about New Jersey. I think you're right with Cory Booker. I forgot who was it that I forgot the name of the senator that passed away, because he used to be the mayor of Man, how can I forget? I used to live up that way across the river, Newark,
Yes.
New Jersey, and then
Yes.
got promoted to, represent the
Right.
state. Now he's going to, I guess, run for
Right.
pretty much a shoo-in for the senator from New Jersey.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, as representative of the state. Yeah.
Okay. And Ebola.
Yeah.
Last week they had a lady on this channel saying Ebola came from monkeys from Africa, just like they said AIDS did.
Yeah, I heard fruit
know.
bats.
Right. And I believe I've been reading, I've been researching, and Congress asked the Army in 1970, could they come up with a germ that would break down the immune system? The Army said yes. And they asked them, could they come up with an antidote? They said yes. Now, if I'm correct, AIDS breaks down your immune system, am I right?
Yeah, that's what I hear, that floods your system, your body reacts, you get a lot of, it breaks down your immune system. You get on top
And
of
there's the
it.
Ebola thing, they say it came from monkeys that some Africans ate some meat,
Yeah, I heard it
monkey
was.
meat that was
I heard it was.
infected,
Yeah, I heard it was fruit bats. And I saw something last night on the television. They were talking about the first person to get it. They were saying was a 2-year-old baby boy in Guinea. It's West Africa, I guess borders Liberia and Sierra Leone. And it said that most of his family in the past year has been wiped out.
Right. Well, if you think about it, if that was true, monkeys have been in Africa for who knows how many years. So have African people.
Mm-hmm.
But all of a sudden, Ebola comes up. And it's kind of strange that they can say the white people, but the black people that got it, they get the same medication or that they treat, they've been dying. It's just strange. I know about this Global 2000 King Alpha plan.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about world population control. They want to get rid of 2 billion people whom they call useless eaters.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And what better way to do that than through germ warfare?
Well,
I just want your opinion on it.
Well, okay, let's put, I guess, the numbers in. I'm not, I don't know much, about the conspiracy. I've heard people talk about it, but if you put it in numbers, relative numbers, if your efforts are you want to wipe out a bunch of people. Let me see. Last year, malaria killed about 1 million people on the continent of Africa. That's what I read. It killed about 1 million people. And so far, Ebola's killed about 5,000 people.
Yes, when you get a chance, research the Department of Defense Appropriation House Bill 15090.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. What would be the purpose of getting rid of 2 billion people? And how would that improve things for the people that want to get rid of them?
Well, Brzezinski said that in the past it was easy to eliminate people militarily. But the way things are today, you can't just do that. It's easier today to get rid of people through germ warfare.
Mm-hmm.
And Brzezinski said this. He was advisor of the White House, right?
Yeah.
Right. So Africa is the richest continent in the world. All the majority of the minerals that they need in this country comes from Africa.
Mm-hmm.
The United States and China are trying to invest in Africa right now.
Yeah, big time. And the president of Zambia that just passed away, President Sata, I believe, ran on a ticket of, limiting, trying to minimize the public, Red China influence in this state, because Zambia is #1 producer of copper, and he's trying to build the infrastructure for his people there. But why would they? To get back, okay, I got you in saying that, yeah, it's probably easier to, get rid of people militarily. I'm sorry, with germ warfare, but what would be the purpose? I'm just asking a question,
Okay.
not trying.
Yes,
Just ask,
sir.
why would it be? Why would it be to their advantage, to their benefit, to get rid of 2 billion people?
Well, when they talk about this appropriation bill here, they're talking about world population control, and they say the world is overpopulated by 2 billion people. Mm-hmm. And they want to get rid of 2 billion people, and they talk about the third world, and they call them useless eaters because they don't work.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, I think the same reason they want to get rid of 2 billion people is the same reason they gave the black people syphilis in Tuskegee without telling them. And then they went back into the black community and infected a whole lot of people.
Well, what I heard there, through the readings, that these guys already had syphilis, they just didn't treat them, that they didn't give it to them.
No, well, that's not what I read. I read.
Yeah, that's what I read.
Some of them might have had it, but they were infected with syphilis, and then watched.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I also read in Reader's Digest that this government sprayed 95 back in the 50s with with something, and then they followed up on the people that they sprayed. Our own government.
Yeah. Well, let me ask this also. I guess, interest of fact, they want to, to reduce the population, but population keeps on growing.
Oh, wait a minute, bro. I'm glad you said that.
Population keeps on growing, so I guess they're not doing a good job if that's their objective.
I'm glad you said that, brother, because the population is growing among the people of color, but the European people birth rate is at 0. So you know what that means, right? For everyone that's born, one dies. Well, now more are dying that'll be born. So their population is decreasing day by day.
Uh-huh.
So that's another reason.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you for listening to me.
Yeah, appreciate you calling in.
Yes, sir.
Okay, caller. Hey, another interesting call. Appreciate you calling in. Like I said, give me a call and you can talk about what you want, what you think is important right now. And this is, conversations, is going in and out of the election, the desires of, the politicians, the quote unquote world elite that really controlled everything and that our politicians are really just puppets for them. And I had another, going back to, the police, got some input from a concerned citizen about what do you think about the violence and unrest that's still going on in Ferguson, Missouri. Hey, we got another call. How about that? 915-5202. You watching Mike's Variety Hour. Caller, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Mike?
All right. What's happening?
I'm doing all right, but I just want to say one thing.
Yeah.
I think Africa is a biological warfare testing zone. Because you had over 4,000 something Africans die.
Yeah.
And then you got 2 white Caucasians that got the same illness and came here and got cured.
Mm-hmm.
Now you just got 2 more Americans that just got that disease. And now they are cured.
Yeah, you had one nurse.
Every day have Africans over there dying.
Yeah, you had the nurse.
Like the AIDS. Yeah.
Yeah, nurse. She was
the AIDS.
Yeah, 2 nurses. One was Vietnamese American, the other one was African American.
Giving press conferences.
Yeah,
I think. What I'm saying? So why are the people over in Africa still dying?
Well, I guess it's
evidently there's a cure.
Well, from what I've been reading, trying to stay objective in terms of, that comes down to the care that they're able to, get.
Check this, Mike. I did the research.
Mm-hmm.
The Canadians got a cure for Ebola 10 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And they scrapped it. It passed the monkey test. They test medications on monkeys first, right? So
sometimes,
test. Yeah, it passed all of that, but they scrapped it. Now you tell me why.
Who's they? Is it a company? Is it the government?
The government of Canada. Whoever's in control of their CDC in Canada scrapped it.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on in Canada. But they had a cure for Ebola over 10 years ago. Ebola's not a new disease.
No, it's been, popping up here, there,
Yeah.
and basically
There's
South.
a cure for it.
Yeah.
But why are so many Africans, just like AIDS? Now you can get AIDS and live for a few years now.
Uh-huh.
Remember when not too long ago, you got AIDS, you might as well go ahead and put you in a casket.
Yeah, that was an automatic death sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now look, there's all types of stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are cures, and I think people rather try to get profit over healing. You know what I'm saying? I think there are companies out there that know that they can charge more if it's an epidemic.
Yeah.
Everybody wants it.
Yes.
I think they wait for things to get to an epidemic to charge more, like gas. Gas is low now. We'll give it a few months. It's going to be back high again. As soon as people start getting closer to Thanksgiving and Christmas, watch it skyrocket.
Yeah, people obviously follow supply and demand.
Yeah.
But,
everything
in terms
goes
of...
about supply and demand.
in terms of, manufacturing pharmaceuticals, that's a lot of money that goes into it. And, private companies, they're going to say, is this worth it or is not worth it? If it's not worth to their bottom line, they're not going to make it, but everybody else has the opportunity to go, if that's what they want to do, and go make up something, they could go do it.
Yeah, that's right,
They
Mike.
have the resources. So it's, I don't know.
And I heard you talking about the elections.
Yeah.
Mike, if people really want to help themselves, go out and vote. Because you got some people that are just betting that you won't go out there and exercise your right to vote.
Yeah.
You got people right now trying to take away your right to vote. My grandfather and my grandmother, they just about died.
Yeah.
For that I could make my grandkids or me to come out and vote. I was lucky enough to see the first black president. He was in my time zone. I saw him.
Well, let me ask you this: given that like you said, your grandparents, your parents, felt it was important to vote, and I always hear, on sort of undercurrent, a lot of people say it does not going to make any difference because it's just whoever, they're just the different side of the same coin, and at the end of the day, it's those that are in the control. I'm just telling you what I hear. What would you say to those? What would you say to those people?
I would say to those people, listen to the people that are saying these things to you. Yeah. Calling you welfare babies, EBT card carrying people. They're calling you everything but a porch monkey right now. And those are the people that you don't want to vote out of power. Those are the people you want to get in power. Just listen to what they say. If their hair on the back of your neck curl when someone talks, it's a good reason why it's doing that.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Maybe some people might say, sort of in a perverse way, that if all those things were taken away, maybe that they get riled up. But other than that,
it'd be too late then, Mike.
Well, yeah.
It'd be too late.
But they say it won't make a difference.
It's just like this, Mike.
Yeah.
I really feel like, we're on our last leg. Because when that Ferguson, Missouri case come in, and that officer gets off, which is the way it's going right now, there's going to be hell to pay.
Yeah, I heard there was some new, I guess the autopsy said he was shot at close range and that there was a struggle.
Yeah, they're going to try to, they're going to do anything they can to get that guy off. I was watching the baseball game and I saw people running around with, whatever the officer's name is. You know what the officer's name was?
No, I don't know.
Ferguson. Well, there were a lot of white people were running around with his shirt on.
Okay.
Like, how blacks had their hoodies with "I'm Trayvon Martin." Well, these people are white people. There's a race riot coming. I'm sorry, Mike. I ain't gonna be here, but there is a race riot coming, and this is what's been playing. You got the ISIS people. They want to kill Americans.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. That's another topic I had on there.
People chopping people's heads off on streets.
Oh yeah, workplace. They call it so-called workplace violence, which is a bunch of crap.
I'm not calling it workplace violence. I'm talking about that guy in England He
Yeah.
was the first one to do it.
Yeah.
And then you had this one in Oklahoma. But they are actually people chopping people's heads off now.
Yeah.
And this is the new norm.
Yeah.
To cut a person's head off and then put it on YouTube.
Yeah. Actually, I've seen some of those. I've seen some of those videos. I'm not a weirdo or anything. I was curious, and it's kind of that the I guess the ISIS people put up. That's some grisly stuff. It's like what's in you that drives you that you could just take somebody and do that to them? That's
and Mike,
that's
you know, now I'm getting ready to get off the phone, but I want to tell you how much hate is in somebody.
Yeah, that's crazy.
When you can cut a head off with a knife, I can't even cut a piece of chicken with a knife, Mike. So you gotta have a lot of hatred in you.
Yeah.
To cut a person's head off with a knife. She at least give me the guillotine.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Mike, I'm out of here, man.
Hey.
Have a good show.
Hey, thanks for calling.
Thank you, Mike.
Hey. Yeah. So, yeah, that's it's interesting, you know, the politics and I got good call. Appreciate you calling in. Good conversation there. You know, mentioned about Caller believes there might be some possible race riots coming out of the events at Ferguson with the youth that was killed by the policeman, and now that they probably, people are suspecting that he won't be charged in that event of killing the youth. Then you got ISIS, IS, the Islamic State, over in Syria. Do you think the U.S. should be involved in that? Or and there are some people saying that, like so many other military excursions, that it's the product of previous, United States or Western intervention to carry out their political ends. But, even if that's the premise, why would these people just go and do that? I mean, they're human beings and they can think too. Why would they do that to their own people? Hey, welcome to Mike's Variety Hour. How's it going?
Yeah, it's going great, man.
Good. What's going on?
Yeah, you're talking about ISIS. I hope no black Americans get caught up in that confusion because it's not about us. It's not about Islam. It's about...
Hey, there's some over there. There's some over there from the U.S. I've seen pictures of them.
Yeah, they're reactionaries, brother.
There's always going to be somebody in the crowd, yeah.
You get people, they're new conscripts to Islam, and they get the wrong teachings. I think if a brother in the U.S. wants an idea of what Islam is about, he should study the teachings of Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Okay.
And he'll get a clear idea what Islam is about. Islam is not about going out killing innocent people and raping women. That's how anti-Islamic.
That's just anti-human. That's crazy. Yeah, so what do you think the U.S. should get involved in that? I know they're already involved. What do you think?
The U.S. actions were a product of producing ISIS due to ill treatment of the Sunni Muslims by the Shiites.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the Shiites after Saddam Hussein, most of the Sunnis after Saddam left, they were able to compromise to have a peace, but the racism of the Shiites wouldn't let that happen. That's all it is. You can't go to the Quran and find Shiite or Sunni, and those are two names that people who are discontent with the Prophet's teaching, they put those labels on themselves.
Yeah.
And if a man, African American in this country, really wants to understand Islam, he needs to go to the master teacher of the subject at this time, Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Okay. By chance, in that train of thought, have you gone through those teachings yourself? And how has it impacted your life?
I'm not in the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam is in me.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So it goes deeper than that. I'm an older brother, so I've been studying the teachings for a long time, and those teachings are in me.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. Well, thank that caller for that call talking about the Islamic State, and if you want to get the true teachings of Islam, that you should follow the words of Farrakhan. So this is good conversation. Like I said, this is a variety hour. I came in with some topics to talk about, trying to generate some conversation and thoughts to exchange, but I want you to call in. I want to know what you're thinking about and share that with the community. So that's what we do at Mike's Variety Hour. So, for the next 5-6 weeks, we're going to have entertainment. We're going to have some more talk, things about, some business people. So we're going to, mix it up some. But call in, 915-5202. Want to hear what you got to say. We still got some time going there. So we talked about, conspiracy theories about Ebola, voter suppression, the local races, midterm elections. How do you think it's going to impact the President Obama's administration if it's predicted that it's like 80% chance that the GOP is going to now be in control of both the House of Representatives and the Senate? So call in and tell me what you think. There's people on both sides, think that would be good for the country. Some say it would be bad. You listen to some of these political ads, it's sort of ridiculous, the extremes that they paint, either candidate on each side. So I get a laugh out of it. I'm not voting for either one of them, but that's a whole other story. I want to hear what you got to say. Who cares what I think, right? But, okay. But what else did I have on here? Hey, anybody see any interesting movies lately? Got some crazy stuff, in the movies coming out. What we got here? So we talked about, people talking about what's happening in Ferguson, and they're waiting for that. Further unrest if, I guess the officer is Darren Wilson, is in charge with the, being, legally liable for the death of Michael Brown. So I know that's big out there. Talked about ISIS. Gasoline prices are going down, and one caller talked about they go up and down, and a lot of that's supply and demand. But a good thing that's happened while it's going down is that the U.S. is now more productive in terms of petroleum production. You have a oil boom that's going on in the Northwest. Things like Idaho, Montana, just across the Canadian border with the tar sands. And I think another part is that they want to build a Keystone pipeline from that way to the Gulf states so they can export oil. So that's in part, they want to do that, and that should go forward to further, make us more energy independent. Welcome to Mike's Variety Hour. How you doing?
Hi, Mike.
Hey.
I'm calling in to help you out a little bit.
Sure. Hey, always want the calls to call in. Give us your input. How you doing?
Great. Let me just say this about being a Democrat or a Republican.
Yeah.
I think we've actually hurt ourselves with trying to divide into two groups, because we need to work to help each other, and we should not be divided like that. It's a game that is being played on a lot of people, where they pit each other against each one of us against each other, and then we get nothing in the outcome of that. Now you said that
two sides of the same
neither.
coin.
Yeah, I am neither, and it is time that we, especially African Americans, start looking at the fact that you can't trust any of them. So you've got to start working on something that works for you. It was very interesting. The other day I saw on CNN a conversation with Hispanic leaders here in America, and they were saying that they don't care which part it is. They're going to vote for the people who are going to do and who promise and then will do what they said they were going to do. And so they are not going to vote for Democrats this time if the Democrats haven't done what they already said. We can't allow, trying to be in some specific or special group.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it takes us away from what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
And we forget that those people are our servants.
Yeah.
They are our servants. They're like our butlers and the dishwasher. And yet they're trying to tell us what to do.
Yeah,
and every 4 years they come back, 4 or 6 years, they come back and say, okay, we'll be nice now.
Yeah.
No, that's not the way it works. You do what we tell you to do, and if you don't do it, then we want you out of there. So I'm hoping that especially African Americans will start looking up. I mean, we can't keep doing this. We just hurt ourselves. And here in the city of Richmond, there are 26% of the people here are still in poverty. And I'm talking about after 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
We're still in poverty. There's no changes at all to what we're going through. It's like we learn to live by the least amount, or whatever the least is, that's what we get. And we seem to be satisfied with it because we keep voting for people who call themselves Democrats.
Yeah.
But if it's not working, why do you keep voting for them?
I don't know. I personally, I don't think, like you said, people vote every 4, every 6, 2 years, depending on what's in office, and then they don't do anything.
Yes.
Well, you got all this time in between. And
that's right.
I always get a kick out of, it's just sort of like, either you got a tidal wave or it's sunny and 80 degrees outside when you talk about Democrat or Republican in the African American communities. Like, you vote for that one, something must be wrong with you. Or you voting for that one, people need to expand their vision. Huh?
What have we gotten from either of them?
Hey, you know what I don't know. All I know is that they tax me too much.
I know that too.
Tax me too much. Hey, let us keep our money. Maybe we could, pool our money some more and open up some businesses or something, or find something else to do. Why am I sending all this money up, to the feds, and then they just send it back? There's got to be a middleman in there. That's
if you live
nonsense.
in Richmond, they take our money and just give it away to different people. They just give it away.
Yeah.
So, Mike, I'd like to know one other thing, and I'm going to get off the phone and let you talk. Who are you? I've never seen you before.
Oh, I'm a volunteer.
I want to get off the phone, okay?
Sure. Yeah, again, for those of you tuning in, my name is Mike. I'm a volunteer at Comcast. I help produce the shows, usually on Tuesday evening, so I'm typically behind the camera, helping the good citizens of the Richmond metro area give their best presentation to everybody else. So I've been doing that on and off for the past 8 years. And every year I get a block of shows just like everybody else, and I have a variety hour where we have some, discussions like we're having now. We have some people, that are interested in entertainment, health, business. So over the next 6 weeks, except Thanksgiving week, everything's going to be off. We're going to have a variety of shows. So I appreciate you asking, and continue to listen, and feel free to call back in and join us on all the shows. So this has been pretty good, first show. But going along again with the elections, what else we got? Local House of Representatives, Bratt versus Trammell. That's 7th district. So doesn't affect I don't know, does that run through? I don't think it runs through the city of Richmond. That's more, I think, West End and such, and going up towards Ashland. But I guess in the national scene, it makes a difference. But I guess the precursor of that is that these representatives need to stay true to their constituents, because the representative from the 7th district was kicked out. What I've read, that he didn't pay enough attention to what his local constituents wanted versus what's going on up in the D.C. Belt area. So that should be interesting. But yeah, so what is it going to mean, longer term for the current administration? Heard some people talk about, what if somebody from the Supreme Court retires or passes away, because those people are getting old and they've been there for years. And if it's a Republican controlled Senate and House, that they can thwart any appointments or from the Obama administration. Again, I'm not Republican or Democrat. Two sides of the same coin as far as I'm concerned. But that's going to affect a lot of people are concerned about that. So I'm asking, what do you think there? But feel free to call in 915-5202. I got those numbers memorized from all the time. Hey, because I also, ma'am, you lady just called. We also produce the shows. We answer the phones also. So if you are a regular caller to shows, and may have heard me on the phone answering the calls there. So, but we do that for the good citizens of Richmond, and we want you to participate. So, give a call down to the station. If you're interested in a live show or a pre-recorded show, always give the station manager a call, and we'll get you set up. Doesn't cost you any money. You just have to come down and give your time. Let me see, what else of interest? Dun, dun, dun. Okay, we talked about, tied up into politics, the economy, 50 million Americans in poverty, almost 1/5 of the nation, battles over the minimum wage, how you could just arbitrarily raise the minimum wage to $15. I guess across the nation it doesn't really make sense, since you have different living standards and cost of living is different. But anyway, what do you think? I got my own opinion on that. Well, what's going on in your personal life? They got a lot of good movies out there, that are interested in reflecting what's supposed to be going on in real life. I don't know. So 915-5202. We have a little lull in the phone calls. But give me a call. What do you want to talk about there? But I'm glad to be here. I'm enjoying the show, and I've enjoyed the conversations that I've had so far. And we have another caller. Hey, welcome to Mike's Variety Hour. How you doing?
Fine. How are you?
Okay. What's going on?
Just wanted to say thank you for coming back and being on the air. I talked to you, I guess, was around NASCAR time when you
I remember,
filling in for someone.
Yeah.
And glad to see that you're going to be a regular for a little bit. And I just think this is a great television channel. I've been watching this for, I guess, over 10 years, and
Great.
I don't think there's another channel like this or another show like this in other states. So I feel fortunate that we have a way of being able to communicate and give our opinion.
Yeah.
And I think you got the right title, the Variety Hour. Not everybody wants to talk about the same subject, and there are different things that's going on. But just to, I know you're short on time, but just wanted to say thanks for coming on, being a regular for a little bit, and just had a short comment about Ebola.
Yeah.
I know I work in an office with a bunch of women, and when it first broke out, we were kind of scared and alarmed, and we're still on guard. But
yeah.
I think that, it is real, but I think it's being targeted towards certain groups of people, which it shouldn't be. And I think, that, I don't know, it's just a big conspiracy out there. I believe the government is behind certain things that happens, and it happens for various reasons. And I just think it's a shame that it has to happen this way. Why can't we as people just be out here, be allowed to live without this being, and they're using, and I think they're using Ebola as just a threat, just the very threat that it exists is enough, is enough to scare us as a form of terrorism.
Yeah, I've heard some people, they were afraid to come out of their houses or go socialize like they normally do because they heard somebody 100 miles away may have had it, you know?
Yeah, and it's just crazy, and I mean, it shouldn't exist because you have so many things out here that you have to deal with on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And why, did they put that out there? Because it makes people prisoners.
Yeah. Yeah, if you drive, you got probably a higher chance getting into an accident. But anyway, I don't want to get into statistics and all, which I'm an expert on, but that's a whole other story. But yeah, it's crazy. But I appreciate you calling and your appreciation of the show that we have here at Comcast. We like to give people a voice. Like I said, to have Metro Richmond call in and just discuss the issues. Anything you want to talk about.
Right. Well, I hope you have a wonderful night and a wonderful week.
Hey,
Bye-bye.
thank you. You too. Happy Halloween. That's right. Friday, Halloween. Are you going to get dressed up? Who's getting dressed up for Halloween? Welcome to Mike's Variety Hour. How's it going?
Hey, what's up, Mike? I'm calling back again since I know now you the guy I usually be talking to on the phone. They hang up on me all the time.
Yeah, if it's on Tuesday night and you talk crazy. No, I let those calls get through.
Oh, pretty much all of them get through.
Yeah.
Let me get on this real quick, Mike.
Yeah.
I think black people have been going through terrorism for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, back in the plantation days, they had an overseer, right? You know what I'm saying?
You said an
So
open
now
field?
we got a police officer.
Oh, overseer. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Overseer was the ones that they kept the law on the plantations.
Yeah.
But now we got police officers, and it seems like every other week you see some sort of police shooting.
Yeah.
You see the police robbing people. But you look like about my age. Back in a long time ago, back in the 90s.
You must be 35, right?
Yeah. They were talking about, the dirty cops and stuff. And now with the new, cell phones and stuff now, people are actually feminine.
Yeah.
You know
I see a lot of...
And cops,
Yeah, they hate that.
Black people have been dealing with cops for years.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a
But
good...
I'm not going to stay on law. I want somebody else to get on here. Well, I'm still here, Mike.
Yeah. Hey, we'll keep tuning in. We're going to have a variety show. But if you got some last comments, we got like a couple minutes left real quick.
Oh,
if
sure.
you got
I always got comments, Mike.
Okay.
And another thing.
Yeah.
Now, this might get me in trouble.
Man, just say it.
Why do all black women like reality TV?
Yeah, that is crazy.
I can't take no more Atlanta Housewives, Loving Hip Hop Hollywood, because it makes black women look crazy as hell.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying all, but majority of the ones that look at those shows start to think
drama.
That's how people really living, and
drama.
And that's how they come in. You can be in any store and watch people come in.
Yeah.
When you see the phone to the head and the heels and the walking like I'm this and I'm that, you already know that's a black woman.
So what you saying something?
Before she even say anything.
You saying some of those stereotypes are true?
I believe it's making them all crazy.
You know what? That might be a topic for an upcoming show when you talk about when you get in terms of attitudes and dating, or you hear, there's not enough men also in that, and then they say women are crazy. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
You see a woman come in the store, see she got a phone to her head.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Those microwaves are affecting something.
Yeah.
Hey, but
what's going on with them?
Yeah, but we're signing off now, caller. Thanks for calling in.
I'm gonna call you back next week, Mike.
Yeah, and I appreciate everybody calling in. Mike's Variety Hour. Tune in next week, 7:30 to 8:30, and I guess we're off. Take it easy. Have a good week. Enjoy your Halloween. Have lots of fun. Eat candy and.